Guys, welcome back to Between the Ropes TV. This afternoon, we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to have a little bit of an award series of videos. Obviously, it's the end of the year. It's that lull in between Christmas and New Year where Ben will agree we've all eaten a bit too much turkey. And let's be honest, we're just reflecting on the year. So we'll get straight into it. Today, we're going to decide our promoter of the year. Ben, I'll let you introduce to the people who it is, who we've gone for.
Well, for me, there was one winner, and that is Eddie Hearn. I know you've got the other promoters have had a good year of boxing. They've done well with the pandemic. But for me, it's the card that makes the promoter of the year. And what is it? 42 or 44 fights
44.
they've done this year. Is it 44? That's impressive. He's aiming for 50 next year. Again, that is impressive. But you look at the amount of countries those fights have been in. They've been everywhere. They've been for world titles. They've been for European. They've just been brilliant. They've been local ones. And it's just, he's done a good job of including everybody. And the cards have always been entertaining. But I feel like with DAZN starting, he felt he needed to aim high. And I think I've been impressed by him this year. But that's not taking anything away from the other promoters.
No, I think that's when we were debating this, that was actually something that we all sort of immediately said, wasn't it? Respect to the Frank Warrens, Dennis Hobsons, Mick Hennessy's, because in a pandemic year, and obviously, Sky Sports and Boxer, what everybody's managed to pull off in what is challenging conditions. And, as we saw earlier on in the pandemic in 2020, the reasons boxing was called off was, due to the need for paramedics, doctors and stuff there. And obviously that can't happen because it obviously depletes the resources of the NHS. So massive respect to everybody for what they've done this year, because in reality, I think most promoters have actually had a good year. You've had Sky and Boxer launching their new partnership.
Yeah.
It's a different video, but, we don't feel it's been the most successful of launches, but it's not for now. But when you talk about Eddie Hearn, as Ben so rightfully said, 44 shows in a year. And that's in a year, where January and February were in lockdown. So, effectively, it's in 10 months. That's an incredible statistic. And Ben's absolutely right. Again, we've seen multiple shows in the UK. God, and MGM Grand. Then we've seen shows in Uzbekistan, Matchroom in Spain, Italy. It really is a truly global platform. And he's had to handle, which I think we should also comment on, he started the first half of the year was with Sky. He's had to handle the transition over to DAZN. And with that transition, they've had to put a whole new broadcast team in, commentators, the whole setup has had to be done, not from scratch, I suppose, because, DAZN have got experience and they've done it on a worldwide scale previously. But to handle everything that they've handled in a pandemic year, hats off to Eddie Hearn. They've had it in Matchroom. They've had a great year. I also just want to give a quick little nod. For me, there's two other key reasons. The opportunities he's given to fighters throughout this pandemic and this year. We've had Ryland Charlton on, who, by his own admission, it wasn't the boxing was at a bit of a stall for him with the pandemic. He couldn't get a fight. And, Eddie Hearn, he's used the phrase himself, winner stays on.
Yeah.
Given the likes of Ryland Charlton, Lee Woods had good opportunities, now a world champion. Maxie Hughes has had good opportunities, and we got to see that lovely tweet from him a couple of months back that he's now a full-time boxer. These opportunities, you don't really hear of it from other promoters, and I know that's because obviously the money will follow Matchroom, but it's fantastic to see, these guys getting these opportunities. And the other key reason, which I think you'll agree with, Ben, what they've done with women's boxing.
Yeah.
I know all the results haven't gone their way this year in terms of Terry Harper obviously losing her world title. But for me, and I'll hand it back over to you, Ben, but women's boxing has never been bigger than it is right now. Matchroom are a huge part of that.
Yeah, I think Eddie Hearn's, he's got to take the credit for most of women's boxing in the UK especially. He's really brought it on leaps and bounds. Like you said, they haven't had the results, but they've brought new stars like Alicia Baumgardner. I'm not going to lie, I had to research her for these and watch her videos, but now you rate her, you watch her, you think, God, we didn't know her and now we've got her in this country to follow. And I think he's done a great job in that. And to kind of combine both your key points, Stevie Levy, you've got to bring up what he did with her in the sense of she had a big following. Everyone's looking forward to a fight. It didn't happen. He felt sorry for her, so he got her on a Matchroom card. She got him ticket sales. She got him tickets. He said she'll be on another card. And that's the thing. If he sees somebody working hard, doesn't matter if they are or aren't his fighter at that point, he'll try and make the platform for them. And then if they're good, they carry on. And I just think it's been a good year and they've improved a lot. And like we say, women's boxing's been a good year, but next year should be the year of mega fights in women's boxing. And hopefully he's one of them people who can make those happen, because that's what we want now. That's the next step.
Well, the last rumours, obviously, when the brief little snippets that were coming out before Christmas was that we will get to see that fight. I want to see Ben. I
Don't name it.
that fight, big fan. Serrano Taylor. We're going to get to see it. I cannot wait for that announcement. I am going to blow up your phone and I'm going to be straight on this channel. 3 hour straight talk just about that fight, because I cannot wait for that fight.
Joe, I think that one, it'll be a good card. It'll end up being America, and I think I've heard Madison Square Garden it'll be a great fight, and it might even be a 2-fight deal.
Oh, it probably will be. But, if you think Madison Square Garden with the expats over there, if they get that on St. Patrick's Day, I know obviously time-wise, camp-wise, it might be a bit tight, but can you imagine the atmosphere? That would possibly sell out the Garden for a female fight. And that's the key bit that what Taylor, Serrano, Matchroom, and I hate to say it, but even Jake Paul is throwing his weight behind Serrano and help push her. It's becoming not women's boxing, it's just boxing. And that I think is the key bit. When we lose the women's bit of the title, I think that's the key bit. So we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thanks ever so much for tuning in if you're still with us to this point. Eddie Hearn's our promoter of the year. Let us know in the comment section who yours is. No doubt people will disagree. But as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.